Good evening, everybody in the SCV chat world on Twitch. How are we doing? Welcome to episode, I believe it's number 6 of SCV chat. As normal, let me do our normal disclaimers. The views and opinions expressed in the show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the national organization, any division, camp, brigade, or any other subsidiary of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. They're just the opinions of the people on the show. Want to give a shout out and welcome to everybody else who's on here. See that we have some of our normal folks. We got the older, sexier version of myself, AS, grinning like a possum eating stuff. See, we've got MDS and the producer with us. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a laid back episode, if you will. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a trouble with my audio. I want to make sure my audio is working on my end. But let everybody introduce themselves as usual, just so I can make sure I can hear everyone.
What's up, bro?
Okay, yeah, we got audio on at least one person. So tonight's episode is on two very great Southern traditions: the tradition of barbecue and bourbon. So it should be a little bit laid back episode, not going into that much historical details, but really talk about, instrumental parts of Southern culture. In other news, we have some SCV news to talk about. First and foremost, for the members of the SCV, General Order Number 3 has been signed by the Commander-in-Chief. Go check it out. It pretty much deals with, COVID and our dues for the next upcoming year. I just sent AS a message about it, but I don't think he's messaged me back, so I'll put him on the spot right now. Do you know when and where the next SD Lee Institute is?
I sent you a message, but don't know the exact date. They are planning to have it at Beauvoir sometime in February, I believe.
All right, good deal. I didn't know if next year was Beauvoir or this year was Beauvoir, so I'm looking forward to it. I will be going. For those who've never heard about the SD Lee Institute, it's something that the SCV does, and it's kind of like our think tank. If you go to StephenDLeeInstitute.com and look at some of the past lectures on there, there's a quick link that says listen to past lectures. We have some of the recordings of the 2015 SD Lee Institute with things kind of like what we do here, but more of an academic setting, where they have people like Donald Livingston and others come up and talk about different issues that are not issues but historical facts and things like that, dealing with whatever the main topic of the year is. We'll bring more information about it, but we just wanted to mention that for everybody out there who may be interested. Next, I want to turn it over to AS and MDS about museum update.
Yeah, I got off the phone with the GEC, and we finished our teleconference just a few minutes ago. One of the things that they voted on tonight was on October 10th at 2 o'clock, they're going to unveil the Jefferson Davis Monument there on the grounds of the museum. So that's something brand new. You're hearing it here first. And if all goes well, we may try to have a soft opening of the museum building that day. So I think we're on track for that happening right now, as far as I can tell, if the weather cooperates. So we need a few dry days to put some landscaping in. A couple of dry weeks would be great. So if that happens, October 10th, soft opening of the museum.
I know the producer and I will be up there. Hopefully we'll be turning in some very important paperwork as well for that.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, so the Jefferson Davis monument, for those that are listening, that's one of the monuments that came down in Memphis. And of course, Jefferson Davis being the only president of the Confederacy, he deserves a monument as not only commander-in-chief, but the only man who could have, I think Robert E. Lee said that, only man who could have done the job that he did for as long as he did for the Confederate States. We'll have an episode later on dedicated more to Mars Jeff. Other news for the people watching this, and we're going to put it out there. I don't think we have any, at least I don't see anybody watching right now. May be incorrect, may not be seeing it correctly on my Twitch screen. But we're going to be.
We have 6 people watching.
Okay, for the 6 and anybody else who's going to watch this later on, because we're probably going to share this one particular episode out. We're starting a giveaway. Every channel it looks like or feels like has a giveaway promotional thing. These items will be strictly related to the new National Museum at Elm Springs. Right now, we've got pledged a mug, a challenge coin, and a T-shirt, all museum related, and they're all quality stuff. They're beautiful. And if you go on scv.org and go to the store and look at it and click on the Elm Springs collection, you can actually see the stuff. And if you want to go ahead and purchase it, you can purchase it there too. But the everything will be related to the museum. What we need you to do is to email SCV youthoutreach@gmail.com, and I'll ask the producer to put that into the chat. Include what size T-shirt you wear, your mailing address, as well as your Twitch name. If you're following us, you're not on Twitch. That's what we know how you're getting this message. Try to sign up for Twitch. You can actually be a follower that helps the chat out, or at least when I say the chat, us guys, it helps us out. Because we want to build this program, build it higher, bigger, and every follow and subscribe that we get or follow right now, it leads to subscription that we get, helps us move on to accomplish that bigger and better goal. But still, email that over to us. And in a couple of weeks, when we have a episode dedicated strictly to the museum, we're going to give that stuff away. And I believe J-Bo is about to join us as well.
I'll be joined by J-Bo.
But yeah, like I said, email that over. Include your T-shirt size, your mailing address, and at least your Twitch name. And we'll start getting everybody together, and we'll put it on an Excel spreadsheet, and then use the Google number generator, and then generate 1 through however many we have, and that's how we'll pick the winner. But tell your friends about it. Tell your friends to follow us, and for sure, I mean, worst case scenario, you get some free swag out of the deal.
Swag bag.
Yeah.
If you could pick a swag bag, what would be in your swag bag?
Out of Elm Springs stuff, or out of the entire headquarters stuff? Out of the entire headquarters, probably one of the new SC of V shirts. Because right now I've got my 2 orange and whites, go Vols. Exactly. Would love to see a blue and white one. But probably that, a set of tumblers made by with the logo, made famous by AS.
Very nice.
And I wish we had actual hats instead of just caps. I got my Stetson Stratoliner, but something like that. Or I will be honest.
Well, did we look like a haberdashery?
I'm just saying, if we had it. Hey, J-Bo, how you doing?
What's up, J-Bo?
One of the leather notebooks by Colonel Littleton's. Yeah, one of those leather notebooks would be nifty. That'd be in my grab bag, definitely.
Damn.
But yeah, like I said, just email that information over. I usually am a cheap date, but I mean that's a sexy notebook. It really is. But yes, that's all I have on SCV news. The Institute's coming up. That's usually in February. We got the giveaway and everything else. J-Bo, you got anything you want to say about SCV news?
No, but we're gonna have some good stuff coming up soon. Hold on, hold tight.
All right. So that brings us on to this week's question. I like that. I like your name, JBAUX. I like that.
It's
Run it back
Louisiana
Cajun style.
Yeah. That Cajun style. Got a little hot sauce to it. Got a little culture on it. This week's question. Not exactly War Between the States related, but it is War Between the States related. In Margaret Mitchell's hit book, what later turned into a movie, Gone with the Wind, what social events were the O'Haras going to at the very beginning? We'll let the chat give them a chance to answer. I will say this, the producer did not know it.
That's true. Drop and give me 20. I'm sorry, it came back to me.
There's not really room. We're kind of just in the back corner of this room here.
We keep him in a basement. We give him a corner of the basement to do this, guys. I mean,
UCB, when he told me I got to be the producer, he looked at me and said, "We're gonna give you an office. We're gonna have a great view. It's gonna be beautiful." I am in an attic.
Well,
in the corner, and like
if you behave yourself, we'd let you out in public.
Yeah. If I act really nicely, GCB will let me out in public. Question just got kind of relayed through the live stream. I'm listening to it to make sure where we're at. So just give them a couple more minutes.
Yeah. We're gonna give them some time.
Can someone comment on J-Bo's like goatee action?
Well, I mean,
is J-Bo growing a goatee? Look at that. I dig it.
J-Bo's got like this masculine goatee going.
It's all white. Think about letting the beard go and play Santa Claus.
Well,
while
I was gonna say, while we're waiting on the chat to give them a chance to answer, this is a good time to plug our new catchphrase. A couple years ago, a group on Instagram coined the term "Saturdays are for the boys," and while Saturday may be for the boys, Monday night from 8 o'clock to whenever we get off, Mondays are for the men. SCV chat, Mondays are for the men.
1 minute, you'll like this. Give me 1 second.
One Mississippi.
Yep. You're fired now.
See, this
to
is
speed this process up, young man.
Yeah,
this is
cricket letter
How
I.
am I not fired yet? Question.
Humpback I.
J-Bo's over there spelling Mississippi.
Yeah. That's how
Thank
we
you,
learn how
bro.
to spell it. Yeah, I, cricket letter I. Cricket letter I. Humpback I.
My internet's slow, so
I think he's trying to pull up the graphic that I made for us.
I really
Y'all see
am.
the-
I was trying to be very stealthy about it, but
Good
it's
Lord.
Did
not working.
well while we're waiting, let me ask y'all fellas a question. Did
Yeah.
any of y'all see the pictures I put on Facebook about them building the base on the Jeff Davis statue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
I
sir.
Yeah. Hold tight.
I liked it and shared it.
I liked it and shared it too. I was very pumped
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, y'all hold tight. Gonna be some news forthcoming rapidly.
Pretty rapidly.
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 It looks
Quickly.
good. I went and looked in the office where I'm supposed to be, and man, I got to tell you, I'm excited about being in there. I won't trip over boxes. Oh,
There
look at
we
that
go.
little
Look at
graphic. It only took him 25 minutes of the show, but he got it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Technically, it took me like 5 minutes, but like, look how beautiful it looks now. When you do things right, it turns out better.
I just want to, because I made that on an app, and it kind of goes back to last week's episode. If y'all are looking at it, tell me if y'all recognize some of the symbolism on it.
I don't recognize any of that.
So the red bar, the white bar, the red bar,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
and
Yep.
then the blue circle.
I dig it.
So
Good job. All right, I see the subtle behind it.
It harkens back to the first national flag.
Very subtle. I like it.
Very, very subtle.
So,
Exit out of here, and no one's answered the question in the chat.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, all you people are fired.
So we'll go ahead and answer it. The O'Haras, they were going to the Wilkes' annual barbecue at 12 Oaks.
Barbecue.
Which goes into our topic for this week, talking about the two great staples of Southern tradition, barbecue and booze. Well, bourbon. So
Liquor.
which do we want to
Corn
talk
liquor.
about first? Do we want to talk about the food or the drink?
Well, I don't know anything about bourbon. I don't drink, so I got stuff about barbecue though.
Sir, this is an integrity check. I do not drink. I'm a college student, but I don't drink.
I do not
either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just sweet tea you're drinking, right, Adam?
Hey,
All right. Well,
a very integral man.
I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about what I learned about bourbon, and then we can go into barbecue. Whiskey making is a staple in American culture. During the colonial era, let's say J-Bo had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he grew some corn, E-I-E-I-O,
And he grew some barley, and he grew some wheat. And what did he make? And what did he make? He made him some brewski. George Washington made him brewed beer.
Well,
Mount Vernon.
He also distilled whiskey at Mount Vernon. But
Right.
the corn
Yep.
crop you would grind as much as you needed for the winter to get through on cornmeal, and the rest of, or actually you ground all of it, but depending on, you kept some meal for cornbread and things of that nature, but the rest of it you turned into whiskey so that wouldn't rot, and then you could use that to trade throughout the rest of the year. And when there became the whole whiskey rebellion, the tax on alcohol and things of that nature, go read about it in American history. But keep on, the Scotch Irish move over here, and they move to what was then originally part of Virginia, old Bourbon County, Virginia, but it's now part of Bourbon County, Kentucky. And they began making their whiskey and sending it down to New Orleans and other places via the Ohio River to the Mississippi and then down. And there's an interesting argument that I found on the history of where does bourbon get its name. And there's two arguments. The one argument, of course, is, or three really, a landing called Old Bourbon there in Kentucky. And the kegs would be marked Old Bourbon. The county, Bourbon County, Kentucky or Virginia. But then another one I read was Bourbon Street, Florida. Or not Florida, excuse me. Bourbon Street, New Orleans. Whew.
Okay.
It's been a long day. On Bourbon Street, during the colonial / American bond, America bond, the Louisiana Purchase, that was the street where all the wine merchants and alcohol merchants from France would send their cognac to sell it there on the street, on Bourbon Street. And they, you could either spend $500 for a nice barrel of cognac, or you could spend, substantially less for American whiskey. So that
Cheaper
was
and get
the
you there
idea.
quicker.
Yeah, exactly. And America began developing a taste for it slowly but surely. It wasn't until we make it to the war when all them Yankees come down here and invade us, and they're, stealing stuff out of stores and, breaking into houses and everything like that. Rye was the main drink up north. Rye whiskey was the big thing up north because they could get it. But they began developing a taste for bourbon down here, and that's when the major distilleries really began to take off. Although during the war, the South was under prohibition. And anybody want to guess why?
Well, you explained it to us off camera. Do you want me to just be that type of guy?
You want me to just regurgitate what you told me earlier?
If you want to be that guy.
No, I do not want to be that type of guy.
He does want to be that guy. That's why he's in college.
Yeah.
So, enter and say they need the corn to feed the troops.
Yeah, bingo. They needed the corn to feed the troops, and they needed the brass or the copper to make brass for cannons, buttons, belt plates, that sort of thing. And in fact, during the Perryville campaign, Braxton Bragg was ordered to, smash and confiscate as many stills as he could out of Kentucky, so the material could be reused for the war effort.
And one of the things that people leave out are the need for wood barrels. Yeah. Because you had all this stuff being stored in barrels. All of a sudden, they needed to make wagons, and then they needed to make barrels that was going to carry ammo and different things like that. So they were repurposing all of the barrels.
Yeah.
They were some stories. Now you want to talk some sinning that is going on. There were some stories that they were taking the bung out of the barrels, draining the liquor out of it, the bourbon, and repurposing the barrels. They were just dumping the booze out on the ground while it was in the rick houses to repurpose the barrels.
If you go and watch Google James Townsend and Son, they're a clothing supplier for the 17th century, but they have a cooking part of their which we may introduce that onto the show as a weekly recipe. Just a thought. But they do a cooking thing.
Alabama white sauce.
No.
God.
Give us 5 minutes. We'll let you and MDS go ahead and rip each other's head off about that. But they showed how to make period correct salt pork. And one of the things that they did, it was a layer of chopped up pork in a barrel, chopped up pork salt, and that being the main dietary supplement for me for both sides of the war. No doubt some of the bourbon barrels would have been used for that, which I now want to get my hands on a bourbon barrel and make whiskey pork.
Well, there's plenty of barrels.
Get down with that.
So that's whiskey. So let's all raise a glass if we're drinking to to our forefathers in gray who pioneered this American and Southern cultural institution that we cannot get away from. Here's to you, gentlemen.
Salute.
Now, Connor, you mentioned things about bourbon, but you didn't really get into what bourbon was. Bourbon is defined by law as having to be made by at least 51% corn.
Yeah, and made in America. It is an American-only product.
And made in America, has been made in America. Why is Scotch named Scotch?
Because it's from
Scotland.
That's right. Basically, anywhere else would be whiskey, but bourbon is an American product. When I said there's a lot of barrels out there, you cannot reuse a barrel in bourbon. You have to use a new barrel every time according to law. Mm-hmm. And it has a minimum of 80 proof when you put it in the bottle.
Wow.
I'm a fan of Tennessee whiskey, which is basically bourbon, except there's a second process called the Lincoln County process, where you filter your whiskey through maple charcoal, and that's how you get Jack Daniel's sipping whiskey. And to be a Tennessee whiskey, you have to have that maple charcoal.
Trivia question.
All right.
Trivia question. Who was the first Tennessee distiller that was given a license after the war?
I think it was Dickel, wasn't it?
Pickle.
Was it Uncle Nearest?
No, it was Jack Daniels.
Was
He
it?
got it in 1866 because he was Grant's supplier.
Well, that would do it.
Dickel makes a better whiskey.
Yeah, he does.
Dickel's better
Who
whiskey.
does?
It really is. It really is. Dickel White Label. You
It-
can't go wrong with it.
It is.
Drink with Yankee whiskey.
I'll drink this Yankee whiskey and eat that.
Wow, man.
I would say that, you know, the reason why y'all have to filter it through charcoal is because y'all screwed up the mashing process to get it done to make that rot gut stuff.
Yeah,
You know, and put a
Well-
black label on it.
yeah. They had to do something to keep it from tasting like turpentine.
Listen, ain't none of y'all drank bad whiskey till you drink that early times crap. All right. If whiskey comes in a plastic bottle, it should not be allowed to be sold.
Yeah, that gives me bad flashbacks to a night. It was Halloween. I'll go ahead and tell the story on myself. It was Halloween night, my junior year of college. We were having a costume party, and somehow I got talked into going as Winnie the Pooh. And my
I
Winnie the Pooh.
hammered Winnie the Pooh. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
How about you
Well,
can't skip this part of the story.
The
Like it was
costume gets better when I describe it. I painted myself yellow in acrylic paint, which was fun to peel off the next morning. What was left of it. Yellow shorts and a yellow long sleeve shirt and a red T-shirt. And I took God, it must have been a handle of R&R, you know, or no, excuse me, Black Velvet, which is Canadian, which is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
And
Blended.
I took it and I poured it into one of those, you know, the Gatorade coolers that, you know, you see on the sidelines. You push the thing and the drink comes out. And then I took one bottle of sweet and sour mix and I poured that in there and I stirred it up and I added ice and I just refilled that bottle of Black Velvet all the way up to the top. And the last thing I remember that evening was the bottle being empty. And I had a golf tournament the next morning, philanthropy golf tournament.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get past the part where you painted your body.
Yeah, big too.
Just my legs and my face. I didn't paint. I didn't go like, you know, just the face and
Saw
the
him in
legs.
there like a big old bear.
We need a
There
division Halloween
is a
party, and you
there's
have
a picture on my
to-
Facebook.
There's a picture.
There should be a picture. It was during my fraternity days. There's a picture of it. Me and several of my pledge brothers had a theme going. We had one who was Eeyore. I was Winnie the Pooh. We had a Piglet and a Christopher Robbins.
We need.
I feel like the
a
Christopher
division
Robin guy got off easy.
He really did.
We need a division Halloween party, and you have to be Winnie the Pooh.
No, I made a promise I wouldn't do that ever again.
No, you can do it, but you need a honey jug, and we need to get you stuck in a hole in a tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
No,
Yeah.
you ain't getting me stuck in no hole.
All right, one more thing before moving on. September is Bourbon Heritage Month. As
Urban Heritage Month.
That's starting tomorrow. See, you people
There's only one kind of liquor that put the South on the map, and that's moonshine. Good old moonshine.
All that is just
Kim, how
that's
much
just
alcohol
bourbon that
do
ain't
you
been
have
aged.
beside you?
Huh? How much alcohol do I? I'm a
Yeah,
grown
how much
adult in the South. I got a lot of alcohol in my house.
He has one bottle for every two guns.
I don't get carded when I go into stores now, buddy.
Neither do I.
Not you.
That's 'cause
I'm
of the
talking
goat.
him.
That's because of the goatee.
All right.
You gotta do it.
Let's ask one more question
All
before
right.
we move on.
All right.
What's everybody drinking out of? And I'll start. This in 2012, Murfreesboro Camp 33 hosted the 2012 National Reunion in Murfreesboro. These were the cups that we put out. You'll see Nathan Bedford Forrest on that side, and you will see the sesquicentennial seal on the other side. I have been drinking out of a series of these cups since 2012. So cheers to Murfreesboro and the 2012 National Reunion.
How many of those do you have left?
About a dozen.
Would you be willing to donate one to go into the merch giveaway?
It's been drank out of. It ain't no, I don't have any virgins at the house.
Well, never mind.
It's been washed. It's all right.
Hey,
Well-
they've been around since 8 years, and they still got the lettering on them.
Look, actually drank out of by the Lieutenant CIC at the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
I drank after the lieutenant.
You know, Herman's
But
really
I
going to be
will be
proud of this
willing to.
episode.
I will be willing to donate one.
I
am drinking Aquafine.
That's
That's
Aquafina.
Aquafina, you goofball. You can't even read the label.
Where do you go to college?
History.
He
Not
goes
to-
to New Miss.
not
Well,
to-
I'm drinking Kanab Creek, straight out the bottle, but I'm chasing. And it's a special bottle. It's a hand selected for a liquor store. So this is what they do within the bourbon world is they send the blend masters out and they pull like the best of the best. They send them to liquor stores for the liquor store owner to taste to see if they want to keep it. The liquor store that this came from, the owner didn't particularly like the blend of this bottle. It's very oaky, very good. Jabo, you've had some out of it. Adams or AS has had some out of it. It's my special occasion bottle, but I'm chasing it with some good old fashioned Stonewall Jackson Punch, which is just lemonade.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, my wife is watching this, and
Mhm.
she went back, and there's 2 brand new ones. They've never been used.
Well,
Hey!
hey, so included.
Thank
coffee
Elbow
cup.
for that. Everybody say thank you, Elbow.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Elbow.
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 So we got an Elm Springs coffee cup, a T-shirt, a challenge coin, and a commemorative edition as seen on Twitch TV cup in the giveaway. So remember to email that information to the email address that should be in the chat, so we can you can get entered for the giveaway. We already know what
Here's what-
AS is drinking out of.
Out of my SCP Tumblr that you can find on our website in our gift store. So I'm sure the producer will put that link into the feed, so you can go and buy your SCV.
AS is a little fancy.
He's fancy.
When I grow
I'm
up, I
drinking,
want to be
gentlemen.
just like him.
You're going to be.
So,
All right, let's get down to brass tacks, boys. It's time to talk about barbecue.
Can I go first? Because I'm going to just list out the top 10 barbecue joints in the South.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I know things are about to get heated.
Well, we're gonna make fun of you for your choices. So
They're not my choices.
Hold on, where'd you get this list?
Southern Living.
oh
kinda-
yeah, there you go. Written by Yankees. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right, yeah.
But I do have one for just Mississippi written by,
Read the list.
all right,
Do it.
do it now.
Strike
Get him,
me down.
Singleton. Get him, Singleton.
The Shed Barbecue and Blues joint, Ocean Springs, Mississippi is number 10.
Yeah, I can see that.
Number 9 is Home Team Barbecue from South Carolina.
What part of South Carolina?
Charleston.
Okay. Low country.
No.
Is that going to be mustard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 8, Buxton Hall Barbecue, North Carolina.
That's going to be vinegar.
Central Barbecue, Memphis, Tennessee. I've actually eaten there. It's pretty
I've
good.
eaten Central Barbecue.
Fox Bros Barbecue, Atlanta, Georgia is number 6. Number 5 is Lexington Barbecue in Lexington, North Carolina at number 5. Number 4 is Dreamland Barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I've eaten there. That's pretty daggum good barbecue.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Southern Souls Barbecue in Georgia. Number 2 is Willie's Championship Barbecue in Savannah, Georgia.
I've eaten there too.
And number 1, according to a group of Yankees, Four Rivers Smokehouse, Winter Park, Florida.
Never heard of it.
Winter Park,
Yeah.
Florida.
Adam can't judge me because he's drinking.
Florida.
What are you drinking, Adam?
Gator can't be well, I guess Gator can be barbecued. You can barbecue anything.
Anything can be barbecue if you're bold enough.
Listen, if you ain't never had barbecued goat, you don't know what you're missing.
That's more of a freaking Kentucky thing.
Nah,
But
Texas.
barbecue, really?
Yeah. South
Because
Texas.
I know Kentucky's big on barbecue lamb and mutton.
Oh yeah, that's sheep.
Yeah. Well, sheep and goats are kind of related.
They are.
I mean, certain people like them.
Goats are delicious.
So barbecue is regionally a different thing. Historically, we'll MDS, go ahead and ask your trivia question.
Oh. What's the first mention of barbecue in the American language or in the colonies? Who mentions it first? It's first mentioned by somebody pretty famous.
Sounds like Ben Franklin.
Nope, but close.
George Washington.
I know the answer.
George Washington. George Washington. We have a winner over here. George Washington. He mentions in his diary that he's going in 1700 something. I don't know, one of those dates. He mentions that he's going to a barbecue. So my point is, there's nothing more American than freaking barbecue.
Yeah, and nothing more Southern, like we said with our first trivia question.
That's right. Let's not forget
being,
that George Washington was a Virginian.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, in back during the day, it was and let me stop before I get on this tirade. For our friends in the North who are watching this, there's a difference between a barbecue and a cookout.
Amen.
If you have a grill going in your backyard and you're doing burgers and dogs, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great, but that's a cookout. Barbecue is its own special culinary institution as well as a social event. It can be one of the two. Like, exactly. For example, Matt is going to a barbecue. He's going to a social event where barbecued meat is going to be served.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is cooking barbecue. Matt's got the smoker going. He's got ribs. He's got butts. He's got briskets. He's got brisket bones. He's got sausages. He's got all that going on there. It's a difference. To me, a very good definition of the culinary end of barbecue is meat that is slowly roasted over a low heat, which uses the smoke from the wood or wood product, because pellets is a big thing now. Don't get me started on that in the barbecue championship circuit. I think they should be disqualified. But to use that to cook and flavor the meat. Can everybody agree with that definition?
I 100% agree with that definition.
Yes. Slow cooked, around 200 and what, 60, 280?
Yeah, at the max.
Or, yeah. For what? Depending on the size of what you're smoking, the bud or whatever, what, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours,
Yeah,
depending on the size.
Depending on the size. You roll it low, you roll
You
it
know.
slow, you do it with some type of meat or some type of wood. You know, it is what it is. So
we all remember having a barbecue and eating at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We would start it at midnight to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it really become a social event. The guys to stay up all night to keep the smoker going.
Yep.
Now you wouldn't keep the smoker going because the smoker kept going, but you had to keep the smoker going.
yeah, just like how like funerals were back in the day when you sat up with the dead. It's the same thing. I mean,
I've set up with them.
You set up with the
Really?
dead?
Yeah.
That's right. I forget you are around that age.
I was a youngster, a wee lad,
Yeah.
all night.
My dad talks about
But
that.
I mean,
kind of stuff.
it's yeah. One of my favorite Louis Grizzard jokes was the one about Uncle
Uncle, you
Reese
gonna
or
set up,
whatever
I'm
his
gonna
name
leave.
was. Yeah. You gonna yeah, exactly. But you know, it's a social institute. You're a part of a social institute because you invite your friends and your family over. I'm talking about in a modern setting. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a Southern Friendsgiving almost. You invite your friends over. You know, you let the women talk to your wife. You go outside with the guys. They all critique you about how you're doing it wrong, man. But you know, at the end, when it comes time, everybody sits down and they enjoy it. And it's a good, you know, social gathering now like it was back then. But where we get into a little bit of a divide on the barbecue front is the regional areas and how it's prepared. For an example, when it comes to ribs, I eat Memphis style ribs. That's, you know, smoked, no sauce, dry rub, you know, everybody's happy. Think of the rendezvous. Sauce is on the side. It's not something based on the meat. But when it comes to other type of meat, I'm a North Carolina fan. That pepper vinegar sauce used as a base, which has been passed down in my family since the 1700s, but has only been changes. The only time we've made a change to the recipe was when they came out with Tabasco. Instead of adding the real peppers in it, we added Tabasco. And then when they came out with Lee and Perrins, we, you know, did away with the stuff that took the place of flavor for Lee and Perrins. Other than that, it hadn't been changed until I changed it a couple of months ago. And because Louisiana hot sauce makes a honey sauce. So I use that along with my normal Tabasco and a couple drops of Chipotle sauce, but I don't tell anybody about that. But I'm a fan of that. That's my taste buds like it. MDS, he's a fan of South Carolina, which is god awful mustard based.
I do like it. Well, you know, I mean, I grew up in what you consider the lowlands. I mean, if you go down south, I mean, around the coastal areas and stuff like that, I like that mustard sauce. That's me. I can tear that stuff up. But I mean, it also has a lot to do with the way the meat's done. I mean, I'm not going to eat mustard sauce on beef barbecue. You know?
Yeah. No kidding. Which I enjoy beef barbecue.
Now, you want to get down a region
AS when you can.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, AS, when you get to eat barbecue, what type of barbecue do you like?
I like it all.
I like it all.
Look at me. I like it all. But you know, here in Tennessee, it's all pulled pork. When you say barbecue, you get pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't go wrong with pulled pork, no matter.
No.
I'm gonna tell you, I went the other day and had barbecue down at this place in Pulaski the other day, and it said brisket sandwich, right? So I was like, all right, man, I haven't had brisket in a long time. I've never had pulled brisket before. It was the most awful thing I've ever seen. I don't know how you shred brisket. That they should have had their license taken away right then to serve food. It was
Yeah,
an abomination.
that is somewhat of a sacrilege. Now, at the GEC retreat, the Army of Tennessee councilman made a brisket that was just fantastic.
Really did.
I think I saw AS get about 3 plates of it.
That was good.
I had 2.
He didn't put none of that god awful white sauce on it, did he?
No. He made his own sauce. It was kind of a mixture between a Texas tomato base and a North Carolina vinegar base. That was really good. I mean, it was really, because it was hot and we were eating outside. Or most of us were eating outside. I was smart enough to grab a piece of table on the inside in the air conditioner, right beside the place where everybody was fixing their plates at. And did that. But here's the one thing that my question for y'all: do y'all eat white bread with your barbecue?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Cornbread.
Not just
White
corn.
bread and cornbread, mostly cornbread.
Now, if I eat bread, it's going to be white bread. But
I'll tell you what, if you go to Dreamlands, you're eating white bread.
What?
But we don't eat cornbread. We eat corn light bread. It's the only time I'll eat sweet cornbread is if I'm eating barbecue.
Okay.
I could see that. I could see that to play with the spice of the barbecue, because most barbecue, your rub is Texas purist or salt and pepper. Only put salt and pepper on my rub. If I had $1 for every time I read that on a let the smoke speak for itself. I get it, but sometimes a little garlic salt or garlic powder is not going to hurt. A little bit of Tony's is not going to hurt anything. I haven't found a thing yet beside desserts that you can't put Tony's on and make it better. Popcorn. I pop popcorn at the house. I pour it in the bowl. I pop it a couple times with Tony's, and then I go and eat my popcorn. So I mean, it's something that helps the situation out. It doesn't hurt it.
Well,
But I could
all
see,
right.
I could think that
for
sweet
everybody.
cornbread would be a good addition to it.
Chain barbecue restaurants, I noticed, like you got chains of barbecue restaurants. Like here we got what is it, Adam? We got Jim and Nick's is one of the chains we got here.
And Martin's.
Huh?
There's Martin's and Witt's. Nolan, Columbia.
All right. So, and we got local barbecue joints too. Like I love JJ's, man. I will tear JJ's up. I mean, for Tennessee, but barbecue in itself, I mean, like if I want brisket, man, I'm gonna have to drive to Texas to get good brisket. That's just the way I feel about it. Nobody does brisket better than Texans. I draw the line on that argument anywhere that people do better brisket than Texans.
I agree on that.
Well, Carl did a pretty damn good job.
Well, Carl's a connoisseur. He probably went to Texas and learned how to do it.
and he did it on a $30 travel smoker too. Was the thing that freaked me out on it. But as far as chains go, in Mississippi, we've got Dickey's and we've got Sonny's.
Okay.
And
my first job ever was at Sonny's Barbecue, bro.
And Sonny's to me is just like going to Cracker Barrel. It's you know what to expect going into a chain. There's going to be the consistency there because it has to match everything else. So if for example the producer and I on our way back from Florida, we stopped for lunch at a Sonny's.
Okay.
Because we knew what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
We were expecting that, and it had the same taste that it had back in Jackson. But whenever I travel somewhere, I try to find as authentic to that location as I can.
But those places like that, their barbecue sauce has a lot to do with it. Because I mean, it doesn't matter how bad their barbecue is, you can drown it out. Unless it's Witt's, I can't drown that stuff out. I'm not gonna lie, I hate Witt's barbecue. I despise it. I don't know why. It just when it hits my palate, it's god awful. It's too much vinegar or salt in it. It's just something just don't sit right with me.
Well, and that's the thing, for sure for pork or anything like that. But when I go to Sonny's, I actually get the turkey. I get a smoked turkey sandwich because turkey, being a bird, is a very delicate meat, and you can screw up turkey like that. Case in point, I did that this past Christmas. I smoked a prime rib, and I was focusing on the prime rib. I'll admit it. I was wanting that prime rib to come out a nice medium, medium rare. Trying to get that done. First time I ever did a prime rib. Turkeys, I do about 4 turkeys a year. So I thought I knew what I was doing on the turkey, and I didn't pay attention to it, and my bird dried out. Yeah, and it happens. But if you can do good, and that's my opinion, the two things that show how good of a cook you are is poultry, smoking poultry, because it can screw up that easy, and brisket, because not everybody can do brisket.
Brisket's got to be one of the hardest things to cook in barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Ribs, anybody can do ribs. I mean, you cook it till it's done. In your opinion, for J-Bo likes his bones to slide out of his ribs. I like my ribs a little bit more to where I take a bite of it. You got a bite mark in there.
I like that.
So I mean that's that. Same thing for pulled pork. You just throw a butt on there, keep the smoke going, make sure you reach that internal temperature, and then chop it all up and mix it up. One thing that I'm glad to see making a comeback in the barbecue world is whole hog. Trying to do a whole
I didn't know
hog
it
all
was
at once.
making a. Is it making a comeback? I haven't heard it. I haven't seen anybody smoking a hog and digging. And I assume you're digging the hole to smoke the hog.
Well, I mean, there's one guy out of South Carolina, who he has a couple videos on YouTube about it. He doesn't dig the hole. He has built up. It kind of looks like it's made out of cinder blocks. No, it's not even a rotisserie. It's not on a spit. He took what looks like cinder blocks and built a quasi oven out of it, open top oven. Let me see if I can sketch it out a little bit out of memory. I'll do an aerial view.
Has anybody here ever eaten at the shed? What they call it, you get fed at the shed?
Where's that at?
It's down in Florida.
Ocean Springs. Well, the original's in Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Listen, that I can tell you, there's a place down in Florida in Polk County near Lakeland called Peebles, and it is the best barbecue you've ever had in your life. That stuff makes you slap your mama.
Now there is a place on the Gulf Coast right off of Highway 90, which everybody goes to get seafood on the Gulf Coast. I go to Slap Your Mama's Barbecue. And
is there a real place called that?
Slap your mom.
Yes.
And
it is fantastic.
It makes you want to slap your mom.
So if you see the drawing right here where my pencil is the opening. And this is the grate, and the walls are made out of cinder blocks. And he puts the hog on that, and it's on top of what looks like a piece of a little bit stronger chicken wire. And he splits the hog, and he actually kind of spatchcocks it. So, let's say this is the hog cavity, he flattens it out. And he cooks it all one side. He cooks it bone side down for the first half, and flips it, and then does the skin so that the skin will crisp up and everything. And about halfway through, he goes through with a big industrial slotted spoon. He begins breaking up the meat, and that's when he adds his first little bit of the basting pepper sauce, vinegar pepper sauce on there. And he has it built to where the metal lid raises and closes over it. Yeah, so that's how he does it. But there's a show on Discovery America, some type of barbecue pitmasters cook-off show, and they've been introducing again and more whole hog competitions, just because it is a dying art form.
We should build one of those. Yes, we should build one of those at Elm Springs.
Do it.
Hog smoker.
I mean,
Yes, down for it.
I think that we should have actually a barbecue contest in conjunction with one of our national reunions. I think that would be
At Elm Springs, we used to have the chili cook-off there. We had it there for a number of years. Just
So
saying.
how many of y'all have saw the new thing about pork belly?
Listen, if it comes from a pig, I'm 99% sure I'm going to eat it.
Pepper
Yeah.
chitlins.
Yeah,
What'd you say, AS?
no chitlins.
What'd you say, AS?
Yeah, I won't eat chitlins.
No chitlins? All right.
Yeah,
Hog's
$5
feet's good though.
$5 all you can eat corn is free.
Yeah,
Those of
there's.
you who
I don't know if Linda's still watching, but if she's still watching, she might post it on there. So, producer, keep a look for it where the shed is, because her and I ate at the shed, and we ate there with past Commander in Chief Tom Strain and his wife and a few more people when we were down there for an event. And then there's another place out. We went to Austin, Texas. And it is a place out there way out in the country. And they had, it's family style. You know, you come in there and you order what you want. And where they eat is just a long line of picnic tables. And they had a pit going, you know, big, monster. And they were cooking everything on there. And that was some of the best barbecue I've had. And it was Texas barbecue.
Yeah, and the thing about Texas barbecue, for those that don't know, Texas is a lot of beef because the cows out there, of course, but also because the German heritage and influence out there in Texas. It's a bunch of sausage, kibasas and things like that smoked. So that's where your sausage comes in at.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I know you like.
Oh, I
sausage.
do. I like. Yeah, the smoked sausages and stuff like they're good, man. They're real good. Damn it. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop right now. Stop. I see you.
Oh God. I just saw on GCB's face where he went with that. And I wasn't even thinking that.
Mondays
such
are
a
for the
terrible,
man.
terrible person.
Mondays are for the men.
Yeah.
Hey, J-Bo, I got your answer.
Ocean Springs.
Yeah, let it rip.
Ocean Springs.
All right. Now, what's the place in Austin, Texas? And if Linda's still watching, she can tell us. She remembers the places. I don't. I remember what they looked like and what the food was like.
Yeah.
She remembers the names and the whole deal.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
although you had a number one with Dr. Pepper.
I had a number one with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember that?
That was a completely different deal. That was a completely different deal.
These are those stories that
put on
you have
North
to
America.
sign up to know about.
I heard the story at least 10 times.
I'm still trying to. What'd you say, AS? I didn't hear you.
I said I've heard that 10 times, and I can repeat it.
Yeah.
And if you join the SCV and come to a national reunion, J-Bo will tell you the story.
There's a bunch of stories that get told there.
I realized it was all the way back to an old Saturday Night Live skit where Bill Murray is standing there beside Steve Martin and he's going, well, what the hell is that?
Cutting this cast off tonight. Y'all want to see that? That'd make for a good.
No.
show.
No. Put the knife down. Put it down. Put it down. We'll get demoted. We'll get a strike against the channel.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
producer, did Linda ever chime in on where that place was in August in Austin, Texas?
She just did.
Salt Lake barbecue.
Salt Lake Barbecue.
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake Barbecue.
Yeah. Go there.
Yeah.
That's
Now
a
we're
place to eat to me.
I have
While-
to go to
while
Texas,
we are-
though, right?
What'd
Yeah.
you say?
I have to go to Texas to go there.
Yes, Salt Lake.
I'll
It's in
skip it.
Texas.
so
we can claim mileage.
yeah. So well, I tell you, if you come to the SD Lee Institute in at Beauvoir, this upcoming February, I will take y'all out to Slap Your Mamas and to the shed, and we can determine whose barbecue is best on the Gulf Coast. How about that?
Hey,
Deal.
you know that little
Tom,
barbecue
the-
place we ordered from when we were at National wasn't bad, GCB.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
the chain.
Yeah. That freaking.
I can't remember the place of the name of that chain, but something, and that's what I was going to bring up on my next question is what's y'all's favorite fixins? But to me, any barbecue place that's worth its salt, and with the restaurateur that's smart, Brunswick Stew needs to be because that's all that is just barbecued soup. Needs to be on your sides menu. But what's y'all's favorite barbecue sides?
Baked beans.
Baked beans and French
I
fries.
gotta have macaroni and cheese, man. I really do.
Oh, macaroni.
See, for me, when it's pork, it's baked beans and coleslaw,
Okay.
pulled pork. Because I like to put that coleslaw on my sandwich. To break up the consistency and give it a little bit of juice. Then for chicken, it's potato salad and baked beans. For turkey, sweet potato casserole, the way I make it, with the candied pecans on the top and baked beans. Beef, it's usually a baked potato and baked beans. That's pretty much ribs. If I'm eating ribs, I'm just eating ribs.
Yeah.
I gotta have
I'll do ribs to some side.
okra, man. Fried okra. I gotta have fried
Yeah.
okra.
Fried okra's good. Brunswick Stew, of course. If they got it, I'm gonna get it because there's nobody in Central Mississippi that makes it.
Hey, AS, what were you saying?
I'm a fan of vinegar slaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Well,
work
I
on a
like the-
recipe. Go ahead.
What is it about the baked beans with chili in it that I like so much with pork barbecue? I love baked beans with chili in it with pork barbecue.
With chili?
Yeah.
Like we talking about like Wendy's chili, or we talking about like the peppers?
Well, I wouldn't call it Wendy's chili. It has a little beef thrown in it with chili beans and the baked beans and the chili beans and beef with a few onions, light onions, that kind of stuff. Y'all had that, hadn't you?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I like that.
I know exactly what it's got a little bit more of a bite to it.
Yeah.
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 Now I throw like some ground beef up in my beans, and because I buy bushes and I doctor them up, I add more bacon, and God, I tell you, my
bacon to me.
Well, see, my deer processor, they make something called bacon burger, which is ground venison, beef, and ground bacon. All, and you make patties out of it. And I'll throw that in my beans. And I also throw a little bit of Welch's Concord grape jelly in there. Just a little added sweetness because it doesn't taste the grape. You just taste the sugar out of it.
Yeah.
And then dill relish.
Okay.
I can
I'll try that.
Yeah. I can dig
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring some beans up in October.
All right, Connor, my challenge to you is to get my wife barbecue.
Say again, over.
Get my wife to eat barbecue. I told you she didn't like barbecue.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm planning on taking off that Friday so I can pick the producer up and we can swing up to Elm Springs. If it works out with my schedule at work and everything like that, and I'll know some more here in the next couple of days, I will smoke a whole turkey, and I'll bring the turkey and beans.
All right.
Sound like a deal?
That's good to me.
J-Bo can have the wishbone.
When are you guys doing it? Oh, the next meeting when you October.
Yeah. You're going to a wedding.
Yeah, yeah. Yay! Weddings.
Well, don't
Yes, I'm gonna back up there when you're there.
Huh?
I said,
Don't
MS,
worry.
I'm gonna have to come up there when you're there.
Well, I'll only be in Georgia, and I plan on leaving as soon as the wedding is over.
Well, don't worry. We'll leave you a nice little gift inside your office.
Listen, I'm
Hey,
locking that
special
office before I
just for
leave.
you.
All right.
I got the mask.
Like I
He's gonna
said,
sue
we're gonna
you.
leave you a nice little gift in your office.
So happy Matt doesn't know this, so he can come beat me up after what we're gonna do in his office.
All right, so can fish be barbecue?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Why do some of the best barbecue joints, why do the barbecue joints have some of the best fried catfish out there?
Well, I mean,
I've gone to barbecue joints and ate fried catfish.
yeah. Well, I mean the whole, it's of course going back to the fact that barbecue is a Southern culture delicacy. So is fried catfish. I mean, you really can't, in the South, you're judged on how well you fry chicken, how well you fry catfish, and how well you can smoke meat. I mean, those
The
are the
holy
three.
trifecta.
It really
the
is.
holy trifecta.
It really is, because I mean, you go to almost any, mom and pop, or not mom and pop, but roadside diner in the South, that all the locals hang out at. You're gonna see fried fish, you're gonna see fried chicken, you're gonna see some type of barbecue on there. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm talking about, the people who smoke salmon on a cedar plank.
I know those people.
To me, the healthiest I'll get is my turkey, and that's it. I'm not into trying to take something that's supposed to make you feel good about yourself and then making it healthy.
Wow.
Well, filling me up makes me feel good.
Yeah. Although, and I'm glad we're doing this episode, but with this being week number 2 of my diet and going to the gym, really making myself hungry here.
Oh man, I'm super proud of you for going to the gym.
Yeah.
Good job.
Tonight because
I sent AS a link to join Planet Fitness, and he can get a membership for $0 if he uses my code.
Listen,
And AS has left the chat.
AS, if you want to go to the gym, you go, and I'll come down there and yell at you.
Thanks.
Motivation.
It's like this is
you all for free too.
This
Oh,
is
free. It's out of the kindness of my heart.
this is the deal I made with my sister. For every pound I lose, she's donating $1 to Beauvoir, Jeff Davis's last home, owned and operated by the Mississippi Division SCV.
All right. On top of that, for every pound you lose, I'll donate $1 to the Elm Springs Museum.
Okay. For me or AS?
You.
Okay.
He's not going on a diet. He's happy with the way he is.
I actually have tried the keto diet.
You're going on a diet?
Yep.
Well, the thing is, he wants to be the older, sexier GCB. So if I'm starting to lose weight, he's got to lose weight too.
Yeah, everything must be balanced.
It has to have an
true.
equilibrium.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so
That gives us balance in the universe. If both of y'all lose, so GCB, for every pound you do, Beauvoir, AS, every pound you do to the museum, I'll donate it.
All right, sounds good.
That brings balance to our world.
that really does bring balance. That's nice. You're like a Jedi. Look at you.
Yeah,
Like
we have to do the
You're like
balance.
a Obi-Wan Kenobi over there.
Yeah, we gotta. I
Okay.
mean, we have to have the force. We
Yeah.
have to keep the calm in the force.
More like a Yoda.
Yeah.
More like a Yoder.
Balance, like all
Hey.
things should be.
Lose weight, you will.
But if you're checking in at the gym on Facebook, that really means I'm at Crystal's next door.
Oh,
That's right. Chris lives right next door to it.
well,
Hey,
the
It can't.
gym
It can't beat that girl. It can't beat that kid selling Girl Scout cookies outside the weed shop.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear about
that's
the girl?
pretty good. Well,
That's marketing. That's smart marketing.
well,
Yeah.
you want to talk about smart marketing? This particular gym on Monday nights, the first Monday of every month, they have free pizza.
A
Yeah, but-
gym?
Yeah.
Is it that California crap?
No, it's like for mine,
AS is
they're
going
right
to go
next
to
door to
that
a
gym
Pizza Hut.
every Monday.
You
And
want to talk
they
about
have to go to
restaurants?
the
Has
gym
anybody ever
every
taken y'all to California Pizza Kitchen?
No.
A friend of mine took me to that. And I wanted to punch him in the
I don't like
face.
anything with California in front of it.
I know that's one place we will not have to worry about AS and myself going to.
Y'all want to talk about weird food? I like sushi.
Could you technically barbecue sushi?
You could. You
No.
just dump some Memphis style barbecue sauce on it.
But would it be sushi?
Well, yeah, there's
It's
It
fried
would be.
fish.
It'd be redneck sushi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Redneck sushi.
Look Yeah. Look at what I caught in the creek and I fried it. I mean, that's sushi. That's all that would be.
Let's talk about food faux pas. Do y'all know anybody that puts ketchup on steak? I have seen this firsthand.
I don't.
I
If-
don't.
I don't.
If the steak is really, really bad, I've been known to do it.
Listen,
For
if the steak's
example-
really bad, I'm just going to throw it away. It is a sin to dump ketchup onto a steak. Your
For example,
mic's
I
dead.
went to when the producer and I were eating supper after our division reunion a couple weekends ago. The steak I ordered was so awful. I should have got the fried fish. I had to put ketchup on it in order to eat it.
Been there, yeah.
They
They didn't have like
I know.
they had no A1 sauce or nothing.
which I don't eat A1.
Hey, you can't go wrong with
I
a
use,
steak sauce that was invented in the middle of the Civil War.
We ain't got anything else better to do. Let's make a steak sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a bunch of people killing each other, so steak sauce?
Yeah. It was more like all of this stuff tastes like crap. We got to put something on it.
Yeah.
That's all it
The
was.
only way we can eat this hardtack.
Yeah.
I only put salt on my steak. That's it. Salt only.
I'm a Heinz 57 fan.
I'm 57. One ingredient with ketchup.
Well, I mean, and it goes back to my Jimmy Buffett parrot headness. Not a lot of people know about that about me. I'm a parrot head. I hate going to the beach, but everything else about island life, # salt life. Isn't that right, Jason?
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. Anyway, I did, his song Cheeseburger in Paradise. That's what got me started on Heinz 57.
All right, showing your age.
I like mine with lettuce and tomato, Heinz 57, and French fried potatoes. Big kosher pickle and a cold draft beer. Good God Almighty, which way do I steer?
Cheeseburger in
Legit, I only started
paradise.
putting cheese on my burgers after I listened to that.
Yeah.
Wow. We're over our limits.
We're close. Any final thoughts segment? Is anybody going to try to eat barbecue now this week?
Yeah, I'm probably going to
Oh,
eat
yeah,
barbecue.
definitely.
I'm probably going to JJ's for lunch tomorrow.
That's an idea right there. JJ's for lunch.
All right. Yeah.
I will
Sounds good.
tell
Hit me
you,
up.
if you're ever in Oxford, there's a gas station up there that has some of the best barbecue I've ever eaten.
Yes.
I will say this. I've never been north of the Mason-Dixon line and found any good barbecue.
True.
I don't know how to barbecue
True.
up there.
Gas station. And that's something else about the South. And my closing thought, because usually I'll go to a gas station place and get a barbecue sandwich or something. Everybody in the office looks at me weird because I'm eating gas station food. But gas stations in the South, there's something holy about a place where you can go in there, get a 1 liter Dr. Pepper for $1.99, a roll of Grizzly Wintergreen long cut, a barbecue sandwich, some chicken gizzards, and some tater wedges, and walk out and go back to work. And a candy
Lost
bar.
meant gizzards.
You don't eat chicken livers?
No.
Mm.
I use those to catch catfish.
Mm.
He's Catfish Hotel off the Shiloh battlefield. They have chicken livers. Some of the best chicken livers I've ever had. So go check them out there.
Haggis is good, isn't it, Adam?
Sure is. J-Bo introduced me to them, and I've been back since we ate there.
Oh, cool.
It's a good place, man. I've been down there, yeah.
So
All
if you
right,
ever
well-
go to the Shiloh battlefield, go to Haggis.
That's right.
HAGY''S.
You can't miss it. There's a big sign for it.
Yep. And you're right there at the Tennessee River.
Yep. Right up from where the Yankees landed, as a matter of fact, at Shiloh Battlefield.
Pittsburgh Landing.
At Pittsburgh Landing,
Sure
yep.
did. Yep.
They probably watched them go right by.
Probably did.
Fish.
Hey, you boys want some fish?
Hey, you see them big old boats roll by here? Leroy, come down here. These boys in blue.
Throw the hot grease on them. Throw the hot grease on them.
All right, boys.
All right. Well, this concludes our episode 6, kind of our laid back week. Next week we'll talk about another serious topic. What you want to talk about next week, boys?
What's on the docket, man?
I think we have it written down somewhere.
We did, but the only thing for sure is September 17th. We will not be having our normal live stream the week of September 17th. We will not be streaming on Monday nights. We will be streaming on September the 17th on the Constitution, the American Constitution, U.S. Constitution, and the Confederate Constitution, comparing and contrasting those two documents, the historical relevance for those, constitutional theory as thought of in the 1860s, and a bunch of other stuff. Will be a really great episode. That's, we want everybody to be in. The following week is the week that we'll be giving away our subscriber package, for lack of a better term. We'll have some special guests on for that week. So, how about we do? Let's do Southern music next week.
Ooh, Southern music, yeah.
Anybody here play guitar?
No.
Labor Day. Is it
I
going to call
used to.
for everybody?
Say again, over.
It's Labor Day next week. That'd be a problem.
Yeah, it is Labor Day next week. I will be.
Oh yeah. You want to push it back to
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Tuesday work for everybody?
Yeah, let's schedule it for Tuesday. First day back to work after a long weekend. We'll have some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
So next Tuesday, same place, same times, different day.
Hey, Matt. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
second Tuesday. That's the second Tuesday. Is that y'all's camp meeting?
Oh yeah, that's my camp meeting, man. That's our camp. I gotta be at that. Oh, hey, let me just make that
I
announcement.
realize
September
that, sir.
26th. If you're in Spring Hill, Tennessee, we got a cemetery walk at the Old Spring Hill Cemetery. It's going to be outstanding, man. My camp has put a lot of work in this. I'm very proud of all the guys that have done this. It's going to be something spectacular, and we're hoping that it's the first year of an annual thing that we will do from here on out.
Well, I tell
So,
you
how
what,
about Wednesday?
how about because it seems like everybody gets busy. The producer and I, we can we'll just jump on next Tuesday and send the link out. And if anybody wants to talk, we'll just have another open discussion, kind of like tonight. Not really nail it down on anything. The weekend after that, like I said, that Thursday, the 17th, we'll do the Constitution, and we'll resume on the 22nd or the the 21st with Southern music. And then on the 28th, hopefully we'll be in by then, but let's do a big talk about the National Confederate Museum at Elm Springs. By then, we can have pictures shown up and everything like that.
Well, maybe if
and
you're
then we'll
lucky,
get to the
me and
giveaway
AS,
then.
and J-Bo might be able to actually be at the museum to do one of our episodes from.
Yeah, so if we could do that on the 28th, boys, you think that's possible?
Yep, could be. We'll let you know.
All right. Well,
Thank
like I said, the producer and I at least will be on next Tuesday talking about stuff.
Next Tuesday or Monday, whenever.
Yeah, the 8th. We'll be on the 8th. I will say this: I am doing a course on the Federalist Papers. It's online free through Hillsdale College up in, I think they're in Michigan. But it's a free course on the Federalist Papers, which to really understand the Constitution, you have to understand the Federalist Papers because they were written by the folks who were defending the Constitution. So I'm doing that to try to prep for the meeting. So we may talk about, because I'm on episode 3 of the lectures right now, and hopefully I'll be done with it. We may talk about the Federalist Papers some next week. So if y'all can make it and, you want to bring in some ideas about that. But other than that, guys, let's call it, because we're at, it shows on the stream about an hour, a little under an hour and a half. So thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, as usual, no Fumar in the elevator. And Mondays are for the men.
The
Hey,
men,
see y'all,
no
boys.
Fumar in the elevator.